What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. Bringing it back to Jalen Hurts, you know, Jalen Hurts has been going through his fair share of struggles these past couple seasons. He's been dealing with turnover issues. He's been dealing with ineptitude at the coaching position. And so far this season, he's been dealing with, not him personally, but the offense has been dealing with injuries, ineptitude at the head coaching position. He's had like 4 or 5 different OCs over the past maybe 6 or 7 years. I mean, he's had a lot of different leaders. He's had a lot of different leadership being a quarterback, be it for Alabama, you know, Oklahoma, Philadelphia. He's had to deal with a lot of different forms of leadership. The OCs, changes, and all that kind of stuff, the quarterback coaching turnover. He's had to deal with a lot of changes. And personally, I feel like it has had an effect on his overall development. But again, when you're in the NFL, you have to deal with turnover. You have to be able to balance that and handle that the best way you know how. It comes with the game. It's a business at the end of the day. You know, when coaches do well, they get hired, you know, to be a head coach. You feel what I'm saying? So it comes with the territory. And these past couple seasons, Jalen Hurts has had his fair share of struggles. And I think it's a combination of the coaching turnover. I think it's a combination of the league catching up with him. I think it's a combination of the Philadelphia Eagles, the coaching staff, not putting him in the best possible position to succeed. Now, the GM, Howie Roseman, has put Jalen Hurts in a tremendous position to succeed. Follow me here. I need you guys to compartmentalize here. I need you to follow me here. Howie Roseman has put Jalen Hurts in a tremendous position to succeed. Tremendous. He's given him A.J. Brown. He's given him Devontae Smith. He's given him Saquon Barkley. He inherited Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. He's inherited a masterful offensive line, and they've continued to add to that offensive line. Howie Roseman has done right by Jalen Hurts. You know, there are some organizations. There are some organizations that we look at their team, we look at them from the top down, and we say, you know what? That owner, that GM has not done right by that player. A la Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. Right? A la the earlier years of Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb should have played with more weapons than Terrell Owens. He should have had more guys to throw the ball to. Now, he did play with Deshaun Jackson. He did play with Jeremy Maclin for a brief time. But I'm talking about in his heyday, in his prime. Donovan McNabb should have played with more talented guys than the guys he played with. I'm sorry. No disrespect. His most talented guy he played with outside of Terrell Owens was Brian Westbrook. That's a running back. So Howie Roseman has time and time again done right by Jalen Hurts. And he's made it where as though, Jalen, if things don't go right, you can't look at me. So now we get to the head coach. And Nick Sirianni, although he has a very strong winning record as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach, when it really came time for him to really rally the troops, when it really came time for him to be a leader amongst grown men, if you ask me, he has failed. And we have 22 games. We have 22 games of film that proves that. Over the past 22 games of football, we have questioned Nick Sirianni's decision-making. We have questioned his leadership. We have questioned his maturity. We have questioned his ability to just get through a damn press conference. We have questioned a lot as it pertains to Nick Sirianni. But Harry Roseman, has he had his fair share of questions throughout the years? Sure. But Harry Roseman has finally landed on stable ground where Harry Roseman has been a magician over the past, 3 or 4 seasons? So now we get to this season. Now we get to what's going on right now. Jalen Hurts, once again, is dealing with turnover issues. Once again. And I'm not understanding why. But then I thought long and hard about this. Pause. I thought about this. And I said to myself, hold on, wait. The answer is rather simple. It's simple. I said to myself, the Eagles already have the answer to Jalen Hurts' turnover issues. They have the answer. I said this. I'm sitting on the couch last night. I'm watching horror movies. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's October. You know, I like to get into the Halloween spirit. You know, in October, all I watch is horror movies. I don't really watch horror movies all year. I don't really watch horror movies on the regular. But in October, that's all I'm watching is horror stuff. Horror, thriller, suspense, science fiction, you know, myth, magic, mysticism. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm thinking to myself, this shouldn't be this complicated. Why haven't they done right by this brother over the past 22 games? Why are they overcomplicating things? And again, so I said to myself, the Eagles already have the answers to Jalen Hurts' turnover issues. And it's very simple. The answer is, and you guys know this already. Some of you guys probably know this already. Let me ask you guys this as a matter of fact. What do you guys think should be the answer or is the answer for Jalen Hurts' turnover issues? What do you guys think is the remedy? What's the cure? What's the elixir? What's the potion? What's the medicine? What's the resolve? How can we fix Jalen Hurts' turnover issues? Like I said, I think it's very simple. One of you guys already said it. 2 of you guys said it. 3 of you guys actually. 4 of you guys actually. Philly 4-4, K-Strike, Zay, Ray Bailey, Chaotic Green, Anthony Thompson. You guys are nailing it. The cat's out of the bag. You're nailing it. Run the damn ball. I'll say it one more time for the kids in the back. Run the damn ball more. Follow me here. We're going to get into this. We're going to deep dive into this. We're going to get into this. And we're going to get into grave detail. So make sure you guys lock in. Smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the show, especially if you're new. James Jones, I'm glad you're here, James Jones. Pay attention. We're going to break this down clearly and succinctly. Don't get cocky, James, or the mighty will fall. Pay attention to the program, James. Don't let the stat sheet fool you. Take it at face value. We're going to break this down beautifully. Once again, smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. If you're new, you guys are tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Let's get into it. On the season, Jalen Hurts is averaging 33 pass attempts per game. Not bad, actually. 33 pass attempts per game. I don't mind that number. Let me make that clear. On the season, Jalen Hurts is averaging 33 pass attempts per game. He threw 34 attempts in Green Bay, and I'm going to get to your comments, and I'm going to get to your super chat. I'm going to get to all of them, you guys. Let me get through this. In Green Bay, he threw the ball 34 times. In Atlanta, he threw it 30 times. Against New Orleans, he threw it 38 times. Against Tampa Bay, he threw it 30 times. So that averages out to 33 pass attempts per game. He's also completing 68% of his passes, although he has a disappointing 4 passing touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the season. Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley is averaging 18 rush attempts per game, which actually isn't a terrible number. 18 rush attempts per game is not a terrible number. He's averaging that, right? Again, add context. In week 1, well, actually, let me slow down. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I don't want to bury the lead. Saquon Barkley is averaging 18 rush attempts per game, which isn't a terrible number, considering he also gets touches in the passing game. So you can make an argument Saquon Barkley is averaging north of 20 touches per game, if you include the passing game. But we're focusing on the run game right now. Follow me here. Stay focused. Saquon Barkley is averaging 18 rush attempts per game. But the problem is that his rush attempts have steadily been decreasing since week 1 of the NFL season. But if you look at it deeper, his production hasn't diminished. As a matter of fact, one could argue Saquon Barkley's production has gotten better every week. One could argue his production has increased exponentially every week. But the Eagles are not taking full advantage of what they're getting from their franchise running back. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about here. Or tell you guys rather. In week one, Saquon Barkley had 24 rush attempts. Now remember, they didn't really start getting in the ball until second quarter, third quarter, but he had 24 rush attempts in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers. In week 2 against the Atlanta Falcons, Saquon Barkley had 22 rush attempts. In week 3 against New Orleans, he had 17 rush attempts. Remember, both of those games, Atlanta, New Orleans, we complained. Why isn't Saquon touching the ball early enough? Why are we waiting until second, third quarter to get Saquon Barkley involved? And then we get to week 4, the catastrophic loss. Only 10 carries for Saquon Barkley. Now let's get into the yardage. Let's get into the averages. This is where things get interesting because, like I said, one could argue, although Saquon Barkley's rushing attempts have diminished week after week, his production has increased exponentially. Follow me. Week 1, 24 rush attempts, 109 rushing yards, averaged 4.5 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. Week 2, 22 rush attempts, 95 yards, averaged 4.5 rushing yards per attempt. Okay, he's on pace. He's consistent. Now we get to week 3 and week 4. Week 3, Saquon Barkley, 17 rush attempts, 147 yards, averaging almost 9 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. And then you get to week 4, 10 carries, 84 rushing yards, averaging almost 9 yards, averaging 8.5 rushing yards an attempt. Back-to-back weeks, he broke a 50+ yard run. Week 3, 65-yard run. Week 4, 59-yard run. So what I'm trying to say is here, Saquon Barkley's touches, his rushing attempts have been diminishing, but his production has continued to rise. One could argue he's actually starting to hit his stride. He's getting better. So why aren't the Philadelphia Eagles taking full advantage of that? I'll even throw in Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell's rush attempts are terrible. On the season, Kenny Gainwell only has 5 rush attempts through 4 games. 5 rush attempts through 4 games, while Jalen Hurts has 42 rush attempts through 4 games. Jalen Hurts is basically averaging 10 rush attempts a game. For me personally, I don't like that differential. I don't like the fact that you have Kenny Gainwell with only 5 rush attempts and you have Jalen Hurts with 42 rush attempts. I don't like that. I don't like that differential. I apologize if you guys are experiencing any connectivity issues. I'm sorry if the thing is buffering a little bit for you guys. My bad. Things will settle in. But like I said, I don't like that differential. 42 rush attempts from Jalen Hurts, only 5 from Kenny Gainwell. That gap needs to be closed. I understand Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback. You know, when things break down, sometimes he takes off. I get that. It's a part of the game. I'm not taking that away from him. But some of the design runs are frustrating for me. But I don't want to get sidetracked here. Saquon Barkley is declared 3-down running back, right? He's declared number 1 running back. We know this. So by all means, feed Saquon Barkley. I don't want people to get me misconstrued here. I'm not trying to take touches away from Saquon Barkley and get Kenny Gainwell more involved. That's not what I'm saying here. Just follow me and hear me out. We know Saquon Barkley is declared number 1. We want Saquon Barkley on the field at all times if we can help it. If he's healthy, if he has his wind, if he has his legs, get him out there. If he just broke a 50, 60-yard run, let him hit the oxygen tank. Whatever he got to do what he got to do. Let him get right and put Kenny Gainwell out there. But again, Barkley's declared number 1 running back. But you have to factor in Gainwell into this game plan. And like I said, Jalen Hurts' rush attempts have not been that effective. If you guys are just joining the live stream, we are discussing the answer, the simple fix to Jalen Hurts' turnover issues. And that answer is the running game. Follow me. You got some people who argued, like James Jones earlier. Not James Jones. What's my man's name? What's my man's name? What's my man James? Yeah, James Jones. James, when I said the answer is the running game, James retorted and said, well, y'all did that last week. James. This is when we get to watching the film and rewatching games and pay attention to decision-making and plays and how they happen. At face value, when you look at the stats, you say to yourself, hold on, wait. Tone, I don't get it. The Philadelphia Eagles do run a balanced offense. They have 132 pass attempts on the season, and they have 120 rush attempts on the season. That's pretty balanced to me, Tone. I don't understand. What do you mean? How is the running game the answer? The Eagles run a balanced offense. Okay. I'm about to break that down for you and explain to you why the Philadelphia Eagles are not running a balanced offense as much as we think they are. Smash that like button, you guys. I appreciate the support. At face value, the stats say they're a balanced offense, but the reality is they are not. They do not run a balanced offense. In fact, there is no rhythm to what they do. They are struggling to sustain drives because of turnovers. They're struggling to sustain drives because they can't get out of the first series. If you ask me, if you want the Jalen Hurts turnovers to decrease, if you want the Jalen Hurts turnovers to stop, lean on the running game more. Lean on Saquon Barkley more. Lean on Kenny Gainwell more. Let's go back to that Bucs game. I'm about to add some context to this. In the Bucs game, Jalen Hurts dropped back to pass the ball on 7 of the Philadelphia Eagles' first 9 offensive plays. I'll say that again. On 7 of the Eagles' first 9 offensive plays, Jalen Hurts dropped back to pass the ball. I ask, how does that help him? How does that help the offense get into a rhythm? Regardless of how talented a quarterback is, passing the ball does not have a higher chance of success compared to running the ball. Running the ball is always the safest option from getting to point A to point B. Now, fumbles happen, but fumbles are less likely than interceptions. When you throw the ball, now the ball is at the mercy of gravity. It's at the mercy of variables. It's at the mercy of the defender or a tip ball at the line or the offensive line blocking. There's so many variables that go into a football going from quarterback to receiver. The snap can get wrong. Or things can go wrong with the snap. The quarterback can get a strip sack. Or the ball can get tipped to the line. It can get tipped in traffic. You're trying to fit the ball into a keyhole, right? So, again, in that Bucs game, Jalen Hurts dropped back to pass the football on 7 of 9 of their first offensive plays. 7 of their first 9 offensive plays. You have one of the best offensive lines in the league, if not the best. Why not lean on that? You have one of the best running backs in the league. Why not lean on that? Everybody knows if you want to open up the pass game, run the ball. It's never been the other way around. Why does this Nick Sirianni-led team, why are they trying to convince us that you pass to run? No, you run to pass. You have to earn the right to pass the ball. You know how they always say, hey, edge rushers, D-line, y'all got to earn the right to rush the quarterback. You want to rush the quarterback? Stop the run. You got to earn that. Same thing goes for the offense side of the ball. Hey, you want to pass the ball? You got to earn it. Run the ball. Open things up. We've watched game after game after game after game. The Philadelphia Eagles have failed to get their running game involved early. Now, some people may say to me, right? Some people may say this to me. Hey, Tone, Jalen Hurts, he's a veteran. What do you mean? Like, he can't pass the ball. What are you talking about? Jalen Hurts is a bum. Like, I told you he can't pass the ball. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He's not Josh Allen. He's not this person. All this kind of stuff, right? What do you mean run the ball? He's getting paid $50+ million a year. I'm not paying him $50 million a year to run the ball. What a lazy perspective. What a lazy perspective. First and foremost, everybody on the football field is getting paid. You're paying Jalen Hurts the market rate. You're paying Saquon Barkley the market rate. You're paying A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith the market rate. You're paying Dallas Goedert the market rate. You're paying your offensive line the market rate. So why does why does the game plan or what I do to win football games ever had to go back to the money. I hate when people say, hey, he's getting paid $50 million a year. He should be able to do this, that, and the third. It's like, bro, it's the market. The money should never, ever come close to what your game plan is. And I feel like for some reason, the Philadelphia Eagles have been trying to validate Jalen Hurts' contract by trying to turn him into this ultra passing quarterback, right? And again, going back to his attempts, he's averaging 33 attempts on the season right now. I like that number. That's not a bad number at all. And Jalen Hurts is going to have to pass the ball, especially when you get deeper into the playoffs and you gotta make things happen, depending if you're down, 2-minute drill, whatever it may be, right? He's going to have to pass the ball. I'm not trying to absolve Jalen Hurts of responsibility. I'm not trying to absolve Jalen Hurts of having to pass the ball. I'm not trying to put training wheels on his offense. I'm not trying to do that. But everyone knows when you got one of the best offensive lines in the league, when you got one of the best running backs in the league, run the ball, open up the pass game, get the defense off balance. Everybody knows getting your running game involved earlier in the game will slow down the blitz. Now we know the blitz has been something that has plagued the Philadelphia Eagles for the past couple seasons, in particular Jalen Hurts. Over Jalen Hurts' career, he's actually struggled against the blitz. Never really been that good against the blitz. But this year, he's actually more accurate against the blitz than he's ever been, which shows the strides he's made. But again, you want to help your quarterback more? You want to help him? You want to help him deal with the blitz? You want to slow down that blitz? You want to make teams pay for blitzing your quarterback? You run the football. I bet you they'll slow down blitzing then. Running the football earlier in the game will slow that blitz down. It will also open up the play action game. And just maybe the RPO game, the RPO plays will be more effective. If you punch defenses in the mouth early, if you let them know what it is early, if you let them know what you're working with early, oh, we're having a whole different conversation. You punch defenses in the mouth early, it exponentially increases your success. The running game increases the success rate of your pass game and your overall offense exponentially. Exponentially. I was watching that Seahawks Lions game. Jared Goff only threw the ball 18 times. He went 18 for 18. He was efficient, effective. He was lighting them up. He only threw the ball 18 times. In Detroit, they got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You better believe their running game is a part of what they do. You better believe that they're protecting their quarterback with their running game. You better believe that they're making their quarterback's job easier. They're making their quarterback's job easier by incorporating the running game, by being physical. The Eagles want to be finesse so damn bad. That's not how we've been built. That's not who we are. That's not the essence of Philadelphia football. Fuck finesse. It's about punching dudes in the mouth and letting them know what's what. Like I said, getting your running game involved earlier in the game, it'll open up the play action. It'll slow down the blitz. It'll make your RPO plays more effective. It will allow you to sustain drives. It will allow you to tire out the opposing defense. And on top of that, oh, the most beautiful part about it, follow me here, y'all. The most beautiful part about it, you want to know who benefits the most from your running game? Oh, man. Y'all, we better get into it. You want to know who benefits the most from your running game? And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all know this. Hey, let me ask y'all before I say, who benefits the most from the running game? Who benefits the most from a successful running game? Chaotic. There we go, chaotic. There we go. You get your running game going. You sustain drives. You tire off the opposing defense. You know what that does? It repays. It repays your defense for getting a stop or forcing a turnover. This Eagles offense has not been repaying the defense. Now, granted, today is not about the defense. Is the Eagles defense going through issues? Absolutely. They have struggles. They have issues. We know that. That's not what we're talking about here today, right? We're talking about the running game. The running game will help your defense, especially when they're not that good, when they're still developing, when they're still trying to figure out who they are and who they want to be. If your defense is struggling a little bit, but they got you a stop, you got to repay them. Run that ball, which is going to open up your passing game, which will give Jalen Hurts way more windows to attack, which will allow his receivers to get open way more, which is going to keep the defense off guard, the opposing defense off guard. You got to repay your defense when they do help you. You got to repay your defense when they do get a stop. That was my problem with that Saints game. That defense played lights out all day in that Saints game, and that offense did not repay them. Nick Sirianni did not repay them. Kellen Moore did not pay them back for their efforts. You can't do that. You can't do that. Green Bay, same thing. Eagles and Jalen Hurts turned the ball over on 2 back-to-back drives. You know what defense did? They got to stop in the red zone, held them to 3 points. They paid you back. Why don't you pay them back? I understand the defense is not that good, but you got to help them get good. You got to help them get good. You got to help them grow by sustaining drives and putting them in optimal situations. You can't go 3 and out in your own territory, punt the ball, and then make your defense play defense at the 50-yard line. Are you kidding me? Are you smoking dope? Like I said, running the ball is going to help your defense. Big facts. We have to play complementary football. The Eagles have not been playing complementary football at all. At all. I watch so much football. I'm looking at all these other teams. I'm looking at the Lions. I'm looking at the Chiefs. I'm looking at the Ravens. I'm looking at so many teams, right? And I'm saying to myself, damn, look at defense helping Patrick Mahomes in that offense. Wow. Look at the Lions offense helping that Lions defense. Look at that. Ain't that something? Look at the decision making. I'm saying all these coaches get their running game involved, being creative, using a running back in the passing game. You know what I'm saying? The screen game, whatever it is, they're being creative with the running game, getting it involved. You get that running game involved, and by proxy, the turnovers will decrease, and they likely won't be a factor. Too often, we've seen the Philadelphia Eagles come out and they try to go out guns blazing. Guns blazing. Pass, pass, pass. Pass, pass, pass. And they've had no success. They haven't scored a single point in the first quarter all season. I'll say that again. They have not scored a single point through 4 weeks. They have not scored a single point in the first quarter all season. And they're the only team to do so or not do so, however you want to slice that. Too often, we've seen drives start just like this. Pass, run pass. Pass, run pass. Pass, run pass. Pass, run pass. Where I come from, the way I learned the game, it's run, see what you get. And if you get second and moderate, second and short, you run it again. If you run on first down and you don't get yards, okay, now we're passing the ball on 2nd and 3rd down. Or just maybe if you don't lose yards, you might run it again on 2nd down. And then you'll pass it on 3rd. That's the football I learned. You run to set up the pass. You run the ball to get your offensive line going forward to inflict punishment on the opponent. You're paying Saquon Barkley $13, $14 million a year. Let the man cook. You got Kenny Gainwell right there. Throw him into the mix. Kenny Gainwell only got 5 carries on the season? Only 5? Something's not right here. Pass, run, pass. Pass, run, pass. Pass, pass, run. Pass, pass, pass. Pass, 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 run. What did I say to y'all earlier? In that Bucks game, out of the Eagles' first 9 plays, the Eagles' first 9 offensive plays, they passed the ball 7 times. The Eagles' first 9 plays, they ran the ball only twice. And the Buccaneers blitzed you. They dropped 21 points in the first quarter, 24 points in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. They blitzed you. They was taking your defense to the woodshed. So you know what that means? Okay, you got to cut these possessions down. You got to sustain drives. You got to let your defense get some rest. It's hot out there. It was over 100 degrees out there. And you had your defense out there on a dummy mission because you didn't want to get the running game involved early enough. You didn't want to set the tone. You didn't want to be the most physical. You wanted to be finesse out there. Pass, pass, pass. Pass, run, pass. What are we doing? What are we doing? What sense does that make? Follow me here. We're having some fun today. And look, everyone has their own opinion of Jalen Hurts. I'm not here to sway you. I'm really not. I'll be honest. I'm not here to sway those who have there are people out here, there are people in the live chat, there are people in the world who have already made their minds up by Jalen Hurts. Quite frankly, there's nothing Jalen Hurts can actually do to change their minds. They claim it is, but it's really not. There are a lot of people who have already made their mind up about Jalen Hurts. They made their mind up. Simple as that. And that's fine. I'm truly not here to convince anybody. If you think I'm trying to convince you, it's not that show. I'm not trying to convince you at all. Believe what you want to believe. That's cool. It's football, it's sports. I don't really care. But again, like I said, pass, 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 run, pass. What sense does that make? Doesn't make any sense at all. Not at all. Check this out. If you throw an incompletion on 1st down, immediately your team is off schedule. If you throw a pass and it's incomplete on 1st down, immediately your team is off schedule. And likely they will face a potential 3rd and long situation. That's avoidable. That's avoidable. And look, I'm not saying every time you give Saquon the ball, he's going to automatically break it open, but he got the possibility to do so. One thing I will say, again, like I said to you guys, Saquon Barkley, his production has been increasing exponentially every week. The first 2 weeks, he was averaging 4 yards a carry, 4.5 yards a carry. These past 2 weeks, he's been averaging over 8 yards a carry. He's been breaking big run after big run. He's been your offense, if we're being honest. So I'm sorry. I trust Saquon Barkley on 1st down. On 1st down, Saquon Barkley is getting me at least 3 yards. So if I know at minimum Saquon Barkley is going to give me 3 yards on 1st down, shoot, he might get me 4, 5, or 6. He could put me in 2nd and medium. He could get me in 2nd and short. With that offensive line, come on now. So again, If you throw an incompletion on first down, that instantly takes your team off schedule. It gives the defense the leverage because now they've earned the right to rush the passer. When you're constantly in second and long, third and long, teams are going to blitz you because now they have space and opportunity to get to your quarterback before he can diagnose what's in front of him. The further you are from that first down marker, the easier it is for teams to blitz you because they know you have a long distance to travel just to get to that first down. They're playing the odds. You know what? I believe my 6-man or my 5-man blitz will get home before Jalen Hurts and the Eagles can get to that first down. It's very simple. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that we're having such a mundane conversation. I'm sorry that this is mind-numbing, at least for me, because the game is not that difficult to understand. Football is not that difficult to understand. And quite frankly, it's easy to figure out. I'll say this. If it's relatively easy for me to figure something like this out, I have a hard time believing that the Eagles can't figure this out. Unless they are flat out being stubborn, arrogant, and not reading the tea leaves. Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore, I'm calling you out today, Thursday, October 3rd. I'm calling Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore out today. Your quarterback is struggling mightily. We know it. Y'all know it. The Philly media knows it. The national media knows it. And the league knows it. Everybody got to wear this. Jalen Hurts has to wear this because he has not been protecting the ball. Period. See, I'm not gonna be like Nick Sirianni, and I'm not gonna be like Nick Sirianni, and Jalen, the turnovers. There's so many reasons. There's so many variables that go into a turnover, and it's not Jalen Hurts' fault for this. And no. Jalen Hurts, protect the damn football, brother. Protect the football. If anything, you got one job. Protect the football. Do your damn job. Period. Now, because we have to deal with reality, because we have to reconcile with where we are today, we had to make the necessary adjustments for where we are today. You see, people say, well, Jalen, just stop turning the ball over. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to just stop turning the ball over because sometimes it gets in your head. So, Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore, your quarterback is starting mightily. The league knows it. You have everything you need to help him. Everything you need. Jalen Hurts has a turnover issue right now. He's a turnover machine. So, because of that, if you see that, Nick Sirianni, if you see that Kellen Moore, you have to help him. You have 2 weeks to figure this shit out. And honestly, it don't take 2 weeks. Honestly, it should only take you a half. It should take you a game at most. Maybe, you know what? Based off what we've seen over the past 22 games, this shouldn't be a conversation. But it is, and we're having it. You paid Saquon Barkley for a reason. You paid him to take your offense to the next level. As a matter of fact, you paid him to take pressure off of your quarterback. That's why the Packers signed Josh Jacobs. That's why the Ravens signed Derrick Henry. That's why the Chiefs signed Kareem Hunt back. That's why the Lions drafted Jahmyr Gibbs and signed David Montgomery. That's why the 49ers traded for Christian McCaffrey. You see, you can't have no ego in this shit. Don't let fans or whatever get in your head about, or the media get in your head about, oh, this player needs this amount of players to be successful. Listen, save that for the debates. You want to put your quarterback in the best possible position to succeed, be it scheme-wise, be it coaching, be it personnel. You paid Saquon Barkley for a reason, to help take the pressure off of your quarterback. But honestly, that's not what it's been, nor what it's looked like. As a matter of fact, and oh my God, we are about to ruffle some feathers. Stay tuned in. Smash that like button. We are about to ruffle some feathers, y'all. Like I said, in theory, when they signed Saquon Barkley, we said to ourselves, oh yeah, they're trying to take pressure off of him. They're trying to take the offense to the next level. They're trying to help Jalen Hurts, right? But honestly, that's not been the case, nor what it's looked like. In fact, if you ask me, it blatantly appears like the Philadelphia Eagles are treating Saquon Barkley like a fire alarm, only breaking him out the glass when the offense is burning or failing to be successful. They're treating Saquon Barkley like an emergency brake. They're treating Saquon Barkley like a Band-Aid. They're treating Saquon Barkley like a fire extinguisher. That's what they're doing. They're treating him like a fire extinguisher. Hey, you know what? Okay, we're struggling right now. Let's finally give Saquon the ball. How about we avoid the struggle, incorporate Saquon into the game plan early, and then we ain't got to worry about nothing else. Oh, turnover. Oh, we're struggling to pass the ball. Let's run with Saquon now. That's idiotic. That's no flow. There's no rhyme or reason to that. That's reactionary. Saquon Barkley is a home run hitter. Saquon Barkley, in my humble opinion, should touch the ball on first down every time. Every time you got a first down, Saquon Barkley touching that ball. Every time. And of course, maybe you want to catch a defense off guard. You do a play action. You know, you mix and match, whatever you got to do. You move them around, whatever. But in my humble opinion, if it's not Saquon Barkley, whoever it is, I feel like this would be my mantra. I'm sorry. I would never change. I'm running the ball on first down every time. With the occasional switcheroo. Because, you know, teams catch on. You know, teams keep up with trends, all that kind of stuff, right? So you want to mix things up. But for the most part, I'm running the ball on first down. I'm getting my running game involved early so I can build confidence with my offensive line, so I can sustain drives, so I can get my quarterback in a rhythm, so I can at least see what the defense is trying to do to me, so I can slow down the blitz, so I can get my play action and my RPO game going, so I can create easy opportunities for my quarterback to rebuild his confidence. And so the turnovers can stop, or at the very least, slow down or decrease. You get Saquon Barkley involved early in the games, and the down and distance will be significantly more manageable. When you're constantly in the second and long or a third and long situation, teams know what you're going to do. Teams know, hey, we got them second and long, 9 times out of 10, they're going to pass the ball. Hey, we got them third and long, they got to pass the ball. But first down, run the ball. Get your running game going. You got Saquon Barkley, you paying him for a reason. Get it going. You got to get Jalen Hurts. And again, we're speaking in the context of trying to fix Jalen Hurts' turnover issues. Okay? This is what we're talking about. You want Jalen Hurts' turnover issues to decrease? Get him in more manageable situations. Get him in second and manageable. Get him in a third and short situation. And watch teams struggle to predict what's coming next. Watch teams struggle to figure out what Jalen Hurts and those guys are going to do. And also watch the turnovers decrease. That's the problem. The Philadelphia Eagles are still predictable. They're still way too predictable. Still. How many times have we seen Saquon Barkley go without a carry for a full quarter or even a full half? And if not that, how many times have we seen Saquon Barkley definitely going to halftime only having about 2, 3, 4 carries? How often have we seen that? How often? Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. How often have we seen Saquon Barkley go in the quarter or in the half only having about 3 or 4 rushing attempts? Talk to me. Let me add this in too. Because some of you guys are mentioning running Saquon Barkley into the ground and overusing him and all that kind of stuff. Some of you guys are talking about that, right? If you're concerned about Saquon Barkley's workload, then get Kenny Gainwell involved in the damn running game. There's no reason Kenny Gainwell should only have 5 rush attempts on the season. He should be having 5 rush attempts a game at minimum. I'll say it again, y'all. This shit is not that difficult to execute nor understand. It's not. So I say, you want Jalen Hurts' turnovers to decrease? You want Jalen Hurts to look better out there? Get Saquon Barkley in your running game involved early. Force the opponents to respect it. And you'll see it significantly more efficient. Jalen Hurts.